Hi! For those of you who are new to my channel, welcome, my name is Victoria. For those of you who are not new but just maybe haven't seen my face in a couple of years, welcome back. You're probably thinking, why are you speaking English? To make a long story short, in the past 2 years I haven't really had time to post YouTube videos because it takes so much time to edit a video, and because of that I've been focusing on my TikTok. And I've gotten quite a few followers on my TikTok, and I thought that it would make sense to speak English on my YouTube channel because I speak English on my TikTok, because then the people who know me from TikTok would also be able to understand my YouTube videos if they want to watch. And I will try my best to start posting more, but I am starting school. I don't know how it will all work out, but I will be trying my best. Recently I went to London with my bestie to go book shopping, and we did some book shopping. We bought a lot of books, so of course I thought I would make a haul because I love hauls and I love books, so why not combine them and like get the best of both worlds. I don't think you can even tell how many books I have here, but I have this stack, this one, I have this one, like 2 box sets here, and I have this one. I went to the works in Westfield, I went to the works in South Hampstead, I think it was called. Then I went to Waterstones Piccadilly, and I went to Dawn's books. So I'm just gonna start with all the books I got in Waterstones, and there's a little mix of fantasy and romance. They had a selection of different books where if you got one you would get the second one for half price off, so I got 4 books, which means 2 of them got half price off. And the first book I got is a novel story by Ashley Poston. I haven't read any of her books before. I own the 7 Years Live, but I just haven't read it yet. But I have heard a lot of good things about this book. I don't really know that much about it. Kind of like going into books blind. I think it's more exciting to not really know what to expect. But I know this is about a girl who kind of gets sucked into her romance novel. And then I also got Cross the Line by Simone Soltani. I'm probably gonna butcher a lot of these names, I'm sorry. It's about a Formula 1 driver, and apparently he's a social media fiasco, so I guess she's supposed to like help him with all his social media stuff. And I haven't read any books before where he is a Formula 1 driver or a driver in general, so I think that's gonna be fun. The next book I got is Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez, and again I have no idea what this book is about, but I've just seen so many people on BookTok, BookTube, Bookstagram all raving about this book and saying it's the book of the summer, so I'm excited. I really hope it's gonna like bring all those summer vibes. And then I also got The Serpents and the Wings of Night by Carissa Broadbent. This is a fantasy romance. I've already read it on my Kindle and I really liked it. Without saying too much, this book is about vampires and they are all competing in this trial against each other, but our main character, Aurelia, she is a human. Yeah, it is a slow burn romantasy. It's a little bit spicy. And then I also got 4 books that were just the normal price. I got Little Fish by Margaret Owen. I have seen the book before because I recognized the cover, but I don't know where I've seen it and I don't know what I've heard about it. But this is a story about a maid and a princess where the maid steals the princess' identity, and then afterwards she gets unalived for it, and the princess lives happily ever after. But that's how the story has been told. Now it's time to hear from the other side of the story, which I guess is the maid's story and not the princess's. I think that sounds really interesting and I'm excited, and so floppy, I love it. Then I also got Daughter of the Drowned Empire by Frankie Diane Malice. I haven't seen this anywhere before, but I saw like the cover and I was like, that is a very pretty book. Yeah, she is supposed to get married to some lord and she's supposed to have some powers, but then she uncovers that she is powerless and she has to go train with some brutal warriors or something. Sounds good. Then I also got the Sad Air by Sarah Hashem. Again, I don't know anything about it, but I follow this one creator on Instagram and her name is something like Pauline Art or something, but she loves this book. I needed to read it. Oh, and it's an Egyptian inspired fantasy, and I love when fantasy is inspired by different cultures or mythologies. And then lastly from Waterstones I also got A Court This Cruel and Lovely by Stasia Stark. Surprise, surprise, I don't know what this book is about. I follow a girl on TikTok, her name is Lucy, and she loves this series, so I thought I wanted to give it a try. Now that I saw it in store, I was like, this is a sign. So humans get born with powers, but the gods take it away like right after they get born, and in return they protect the humans against the vicious, merciless fae. But our main character, she survives with her powers and she needs to get help from like a dark and brooding man. My guess is he's a fae, I don't know, but sounds fun. And then I got a lot of books from the works, and I went to 2 different ones. But this is the first batch, and then all of these also from the works. So I'm gonna try to do it kind of quickly, but knowing me, I probably won't. But I got the first 2 books in the Windy series by Liz Tomford. First one is Mile High, and the second one is Caught Up. These are sports romances, and lately I've been getting kind of into sport romances, which you will be able to tell from most of the books I'm gonna show. But this is about a hockey player and a flight attendant on their private plane. This is about a single dad who is a pitcher that's baseball, softball. I'm really bad with sports. And then a pastry chef. I really dislike the single dad trope or any single parent trope, but I have read some Elsie Summer books where there is the single parent trope, and I did enjoy those, so I have hopes, but I'm also kind of scared. Then I also got the rule book by Sarah Adams, and she is the one who wrote the cheat sheet, which was one of my first rom-coms I ever read, and I love that book. This is a book in the same universe as the cheat sheet. She is an NFL player, and she is a sports agent, maybe. Then I also got Tangled Up in You by Christina Lauren, and this is gonna be my first ever Christina Lauren book. It's a retelling of Tangled, which is one of my favorite movies ever. Then I got Not in Love by Eddie Hazelwood. I just love Eddie Hazelwood's books. They're so much fun. I always laugh and giggle because they're just amazing rom-coms, and I've heard this is gonna be her spiciest one yet. The spice in her books are not my favorite, but I really enjoy the rest of the story, so this could be either very good or very bad. And just a question for Eddie Hazelwood or your publishers: why did you change the style of your covers? Because all of the others are the same style and this is a different illustrator. Why? It annoys me. And then I got Love at First Night by Megan Clausen, and I basically got it because it has such pretty sprayed edges. Hopefully it's gonna be fun. It looks really cute and it's pink, so I feel like it has to be good. Then I got The Framer by Gwenda Bond. It's about a magically gifted con artist, and I guess they're gonna do a heist together. And then I also got the whole Off Campus series by Elle Kennedy. First is The Deal, then The Mistake, The Score, The Goal, The Legacy. It was probably a stupid idea to get all of them at once since I haven't read any of her books ever, but I've only heard amazing things about this. I have some co-workers who have read it, absolutely loved it. I have another friend who have read it, absolutely loved it. Her name is Maya, and she made a TikTok with quotes from the different books, and I was like, sold. This is my sign to buy the books. If you don't know the series, it's an interconnected standalone hockey romance. And then because I'm stupid, I also got her other book series, which is Briar You, and the first one is The Chase, then The Risk, The Play, The Dare. I guess this is also a hockey romance, but maybe at a different university, college. I don't really know. It is very stupid to buy that many books from an author and you have never read anything from. I have a very strong feeling I'm gonna love the books, so I took a chance. And then to all the fantasy I got at the works. First book is The Light That Blinds Us by Andy Darcy Theo, and to be honest, I didn't really think I was gonna read the book because this might be a red flag in me as a reader, but I don't usually read books by a male author. But I got invited to Hey Festival as a book talk influencer on the book talk crew in late May this year, and I was in the same group as Andy, so I spent 3 days with the other book talkers and he was one of them. So because of that, I really want to know like what his book is about and how his writing style is. I also got the first 2 books in the Gilded Ones series. So the first one is the Gilded Ones, the second one is the Merciless Ones, and they are by Nemina Forna. I have read the first one in Danish and I have the second one in Danish as well, but they're both in hardbacks, and I don't think they're gonna make the third one in a hardback. So I thought this was my sign to buy them in the like English versions, and they match in size. I read the first one I think maybe 2 years ago. I don't remember a lot, but it's with girls, and when they reach a certain age I get tested to see if they are demons, and our main character, she is a demon, and the government tries to unalive all the demons, but she keeps surviving, and she is taken to this place where she is gonna be trained as a warrior with a lot of the other demon girls who survived. And then I also got the Hunger Games series because it's just a classic. It's an OG. I read them back in, I don't know, maybe like 5th grade. The first one is the Hunger Games, the second one is Catching Fire, and the third one is Mortgagee, and they are by Suzanne Collins. I also got Once Upon a Fever by Ingrid Walker. I'm so sorry, I'm definitely butchering that name. These 2 sisters, their mother is in a eternal sleep, so they try to find a cure for her, and then they also discover a boy with gold skin who's been held prisoner where they live. Sounds exciting. Lastly, from the works, I got Crooked Kingdom. I only know it's about these 6 people. I guess since it's called Six of Crows, but they all do this heist where they have to steal something, and people always say that Six of Crows has the best found family. And then I went to Dawn's books. I only got 1 book, and I got the Immortal Games by Annalise Avery. There are the Immortal Games, and the gods of Olympics randomly get selected humans as their tokens, and basically the main character, she is seeking revenge on the gods because they allowed her sister to get deleted unalive. I love when it's like Greek mythology inspired, so I am really excited. And then in the airport I got Yellowface because me and my friend, we saw this book in every single store we went to, and every single time we were like, should we buy it? And then because it was buy one get one half price off, we bought 1 each. This is by Rebecca F. Kwang. She is also the author of Babel and The Puppy Wall. I know basically nothing about this book except it gives a behind the scenes of being an author. One of the girls I met at the hehe festival, she read this one and she loved it. So I am excited, but I have absolutely no idea what to expect. That was all of the books I got when I went to London. But you're probably thinking, what about this pile? And this is a pile I have accumulated over the last few weeks before I went to London, because I was on a book buying ban, but I did break my book buying ban a few times. So I thought I would just include the books in this video because might as well when I'm filming a huge book haul. Last week I went to Germany to visit one of my friends, and I was talking with her sister about the Blood and Ash series and how I really wanted to read it, but its series specifically is so freaking expensive in Denmark and I have no idea why. So she said I could buy her first 3 books. My camera just stopped recording, but she said I could buy her first 3 books because she wanted to buy the German version. I got hers for a lot cheaper than I would have in Denmark. It's by the author Jennifer L. Armentrout. The first book is From Blood and Ash. Don't know which is the second and which is the third, but it's called The Crown of Gilded Bones and A Kingdom of Flesh and Fire. And I have absolutely no idea what these books are about, but I have seen so many people love this book series, and my friend I was visiting in Germany, she also loves this series, and I've seen so much fan art of Poppy and one of the dudes. I know his name, but I don't know if it's a spoiler if I say it. And I also think there are vampires in the series, and I also went on summer vacation to Indonesia where I bought How to End a Love Story by Yulin Kwang, and this is about a screenwriter and a best-selling author, and it's a rom-com, so that sounds really fun. And then in Denmark I also got a few books because I work in a bookstore and it's so difficult not to buy books. I got Foxglove by Adeline Grace, which is the second book in the Belladonna series, and I loved Belladonna. It is a gothic fantasy romance and Death is in love with the main character, and this is the second book. I've read this much and so far it's so good. Then I also got Reckless, which is the second book in the Powerless trilogy by Lauren Roberts, and I loved the first book. I gave it 6 stars. It was amazing. I am scared to see if this will live up to the first book. I love the romance, so I think even if the plot is kind of like meh, the romance will definitely like balance it up. Then I got Never a Hero by Vanessa Lynn, which is the second book in the, I think it's called Monsters series, but the first book is only a monster, and I read that one I think maybe last year or 2 years ago, and I've just been waiting for the small paperback to come out. And it is a fantasy romance, and I don't want to say too much because I don't want to spoil anything, but it has a really interesting magic system. I'm excited to read the second book. I also got Curse for True Love, the small paperback, but I don't know where I put it, somewhere on my shelf, but it's by Stephanie Garber. It's the third book in the Once Upon a Broken Heart series, which is a fantasy romance. It is one of my all-time favorite series. I would recommend reading Carol first because then you get a bigger like understanding of the world and of one of the main characters in Once Upon a Broken Heart. But if you like a fantasy romance with a lot of magic, like just in general, it feels like a very magical world they live in, and enemies to lovers and tension. Chef's kiss. Lastly, I got The Greatest Nobodies of History from Adrian Bliss, and if you don't recognize his name, he is the dude on TikTok who makes a lot of videos where he's kind of awkward, and a lot of the times he breaks the fourth wall and looks into the camera, and he is making these videos with all of the weirdest costumes. He has every single costume that exists in the whole wide world, and he made a book, and I got it sent to me by some of the people I met when I went to the hehe festival. It's about all of these minor characters from big moments in history. This is not something I would usually read, but I just thought it sounded really funny, so that's why I decided to give it a go anyway. Those are all the books I got. It was a huge haul. I'm gonna be on a book buying ban for the rest of the year. I'm gonna try my best. So I only have 2 exceptions. If it's a new release, I could potentially buy it, or if it's in a series I'm already reading or I already own, then it's okay for me to buy it. But other than that, I'm gonna try my best not to buy any books, because this is very overkill. Books are just much cheaper in London, and I'm gonna be a student soon where I probably won't have that much money to buy books because I'm gonna be broke the whole time. And that's why I decided to kind of, you know, stock up on books so I don't need to buy them while I'm studying, and I already have them now, and then I can just choose a book to read from my shelf and not have to spend money on new books. It's kind of a smart move if you think about it. It's investing in books so I have them in the future. I don't know, maybe it's just me making up excuses, but anyway, that was it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you got some inspiration for some new books. And if you don't already follow me on TikTok, and if you like books, I would highly recommend, because I am way more active on TikTok than any other platform. I think that's it. Now I'm gonna stop yapping because I've been speaking for way too long. Bye!